The Continental is a new Peacock series exploring the origins of the characters within John Wick. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name is Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Peacock. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. The Continental is a chain of hotels around the world that serves as a neutral ground for members of the underworld. The hotel workers of the Continental try to handle the hitmen and the murderers who come to stay. So this comes from the world of John Wick, some of the best action films I have ever seen. And this is a 3-part series on Peacock. 3 different Friday nights for the series. I've seen all 3 episodes and I was disappointed. This series feels nothing like John Wick. Yes, there are some fun action scenes in here, but the flair, the emotional scenes to John Wick, the music, the extended action scenes, that is absent within this series, and that is hugely disappointing, as John Wick, not only the character is really fun, the lore to the world of John Wick and the Continental and the managers and everybody within the hotel has always been a strong part of the series, all 4 films. And there is huge potential to have really interesting stories for this world and the characters that live within it and the past lives they've had. And that's what this series attempts to do. When you come to Winston Scott, played by Ian McShane, exploring Lance Reddick's character when he was younger. You have Mel Gibson in here pretty much as our villain. There's so much that could have worked. The problem with this series is that it tries to do too much. It tries to balance so many different genres as we explore New York City during a strike, and so the city is filled with trash throughout. You have one part that wants to be this police investigation. You have this one part that wants to be a heist series. Then you have exploring Winston Scott and his brother, and then you have Mel Gibson, and then you have this business that is being taken over. There's a lot going in here that you can't even feel anything for these characters or feel invested into one part of the story. And each episode is about an hour and a half long, so you do spend a lot of time with these characters and the Continental, but none of it is memorable. None of it is as gritty or as investing as the John Wick world was. The direction for the John Wick films have been a standout for action films for many years. The really loud music that accompanies these action scenes, the extended fight scenes, that's really not in here. I mean, for the first 2 episodes, there's a action scene here and there. There's a lot more in the 3rd film, but the style of direction and the action scenes don't match anything from John Wick. And the characters too feel very different from the characters that we get for the movie John Wick. Especially when it comes to young Winston Scott, played by Colin Woodell. He does not feel like Ian McShane at all. And Mel Gibson's pretty fun. It doesn't come to the 3rd film where you feel like he's absolutely crazy and becoming like this big villain, and that's where you deliver a lot more of the entertaining scenes. And I did like the actor who played the younger version of Lance Reddick, really captured his mannerisms and how he's able to calmly enter the room and kind of just work the scenes. I really liked him in here, and it really did match what Lance Reddick did in the John Wick films. But it just ended up dragging. It wanted to focus on these character lives, Winston Scott and his troubled past with his brother, and Mel Gibson wanting to find Winston Scott's brother, and so many different storylines that are going on, forming this group to do this heist. And then you have this police that's investigating the hotel. There's so much going on that you feel like a lot of it's just not developed properly. And if you took certain scenes out, certain characters out, I'm sure you could have just formed a movie. You could have just had a 2.5 hour action film called The Continental, release it on Peacock or had it in theaters next year, whatever. Tighten the script give us less characters, and really just focus on Winston Scott, his brother, and Mel Gibson, that would have been fine. But you had so much going on in here, so much things fighting for screen time that I just could not feel invested in it. More so Winston Scott and his brother that he hasn't spoke to in years, and then when we meet him and what Mel Gibson is after, I thought there'd be like some emotional scenes surrounding them since they're brothers. Nope, that didn't happen within the movie. Story between a brother and sister who are trying to protect their father's business. There could have been some deeper moments exploring that, but it focused so much more on other things. Just the style of the series felt very disappointing. The action is fun at times, but nowhere near as well edited or choreographed as the John Wick films. And just the overall flair that that franchise had is severely lacking. Music choice is pretty good, does match the era that this series takes place in, but there's not enough in here to really captivate me and wanting to see more of it. So I'm just fine with what it was, and that's ended, and let's just watch John Wick again. So before I give you my score for The Continental on Peacock, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give The Continental a C. Thank you guys for checking out my review for The Continental, the new Peacock series from the world of John Wick. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.